Welcome into the Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia. Great to have Jauch back.
Solo run you had last week. You know, sometimes Matt Warner, sometimes you gotta step out on your own.
Right.
You know
what? Push me out of the nest.
You gotta get pushed out of the nest. Those little robins come springtime. Right. They follow the nest.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what they do? They find their wings.
And I
want to let you know that I watched last week's podcast.
I appreciate that.
And you found your wings.
I appreciate it.
Not that you all didn't already have your wings.
Well, yeah.
But when you got your little robin, when Batman's got his robin with him, Tonto's got Lone Ranger's got Tonto with him.
Yeah.
Like,
thanks,
you know, we haven't mentioned Emily yet.
Who? Yeah, who? No, wouldn't want to do it every week, but it was an interesting time.
Job.
Yeah, I appreciate you being back here today. Listen, we're deciding to change things up this week.
We're mixing it up.
Being that it's Thanksgiving week.
Oh, we're thankful.
We're just gonna spend the hour talking about things we're thankful for. What do you think? Like, let's just focus on that. Like things like basketball season.
Basketball
right?
season.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, you know what? We're thankful for Evan Dickens running the football.
We're thankful for Evan Dickens, absolutely. Can I tell you that this football game hadn't even been over 30 minutes, and I had multiple people texting me saying some form of this very same thing, which was, how are you going to talk about this one on the podcast? I heard that numerous times.
You know, sometimes you're at the low of the lows. You got to go through the valley to get to the mountaintop.
Isn't this what
happens?
What everyone always says now, this is therapy, right? Doesn't
therapy,
everyone say you're supposed to talk through these things, right?
And let me tell you, I'll say this.
Yeah.
I'll say this. My freshman year at North Carolina, Mac Brown came in as a head coach, and he was like, I'm gutting this thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so I was in his very first recruiting class. I was redshirted, and we went 1-10. Right?
Oof.
And I'm like, what did I just sign up for?
Right.
But I wasn't playing, so I was like, okay, let's see if we can get in here and do that. So then I was a redshirt freshman, and so now probably shouldn't have been starting, but he threw me in the fire.
Sure.
As starting as a redshirt freshman, and guess what? We went 1-10. So we went back.
But it felt different with Jauch out there.
It felt a little different.
Right.
So now I was contributing to our fight. Before I really wasn't. I just helped him practice to contribute. Now I was actually contributing to our fight. Then the following year, we went 6-4-1.
Okay.
And we got this year, Georgia Tech won the national championship. They didn't have overtime back then. And we were the only blemish on their record. They went 11-1. So it was trending in the right direction. This following year, 7-4, then 9-3, then it all went. So my point in telling you that is like, when I know what it's like as a player who experienced it, and I'm sure for the fans, it's painful. It's not as painful unless you're playing, but it's painful, right? And you have a right to be painful. But there is so much to be said in if you can turn it around. Yeah. Right. And so now we're moving near the end of the year right now. And so, you know, when you do turn it around, because the problem at Liberty is this from the moment they joined FBS, right? Bowl eligible, year one.
They didn't have that growth.
There was
huge growing pains.
You can't look back and go, man, remember back when we joined FBS and we lost.
Yeah, right.
And then we
came out guns a-blazing. Put it on Old Dominion, our very first FBS.
Ever since Stubbs caught that first touchdown, Matt Warner on the call said, "Welcome to the FBS." Right? It was all up. It was all at the mountaintop right there. Yeah. So we were at bowl games and everything. Now it's down. It's sunk down below. So you know what? You haven't been here before. The Fiesta Bowl 2 years ago. You haven't been here before. So now it's like, what do you do? What do you do when you're here right now, man?
I think that's what everybody's asking.
I think that's $1 million question. You got to make decisions on what do you do now to get back to the mountaintop.
Well, you're kind of jumping ahead a little bit because but let's go there. Like, I think where it is now, and I'm not. Listen, neither of us are going to come on and call for people's jobs, and that's just not kind of what I do, and I don't know that in this position I could if I wanted to. And so what if I did?
Right.
Like, what does my opinion matter?
It doesn't,
right? But I will say this. I think at this point with what we've seen, as you evaluate where this program is come the end of the season, nothing's off limits in terms of the processes that are in place, how we do what we do, and who is running those processes. I don't think anybody or anything is off limits.
That's fair.
Based off of what we've seen, not just this year, but the trend over the last couple of years. It's not just well, it was one injury, and that's what, like, there's too many layers that nothing is off limits when it comes to, breaking this thing down at the end of the year and trying to figure out how did we get here. And that definitely needs to take place because, again, it's not just one or two things. We tweak this, we tweak that, we're fine.
Yeah.
And it's not the old days where you say, oh, but we've got these guys we're building with. No. As Jamie Chadwell's reminded us, every year is totally different. So what has to change to avoid what just took place this year? Yeah. And I think it's all on the table at this point. Everything is all options are on the table.
I think you said it well. I think there's layers to it. And that's the word you use, is layers. And I think you have to get within each of those layers and say, okay, where can we tweak those things to become better? Because it'd be really simple to spin this thing and say, we just need a quarterback. Right. Or we just need an explosive receiver, or we need a better offensive tackle, whatever it is. That'd be the easy answer. Yeah. But when you're sitting on that mountaintop 2 years ago, and then you're seeing it decline over the last couple. That's just the reality of it. You're seeing it decline over the last couple of years. That you have to do that. You have to get into the layers of each part of the program and say, okay, where are we really good? Where are we potentially great? Where are we good? Where are we average? And then where are we bad? Yeah. And you got to get through that and figure out what those are, and then come up with a decision, make decisions on okay, can we make those better? Sure. Right. Ultimately, that's what we're asking for.
And I think you go back to last year, and so much of last year's failure was kind of lumped in with just culture. We heard that a lot.
That's right.
Yeah, we didn't have the right guys leading. That's a couple of bad apples that maybe kind of affected the whole thing. This year we haven't heard that. Yeah. From the beginning of the year all the way through these struggles, we've heard culture's still good. We have guys that care. We have guys that are playing, that practice hard. That's not the issue, which is good. You don't want the culture to be an issue in 2 seasons in a row. That's the good part of it. The bad part of it is, well, then it's something different. Yeah. And so that's what needs to be identified.
I mean, my job obviously is to analyze the football side of things. Right. And when you get into the football part of it, I think there's some clarity on that. There's a few things, right? Outside of Evan Dickens emerging as a superstar. Stud, right? Outside of that, there's some good players, right? There's some bad players. Yeah. There's some good players. But you can't win at a high level on one guy who's really your stud. Yeah. Right? You've got to have, and I'm not just talking about skill players. You got to have a couple stud linemen that can protect the quarterback. First and most importantly, you got to have a stud quarterback. Yeah. Right? And the quarterback, I looked at Vasco early in that game, and I saw him throw that seam route to start the first drive, and I was like, he sort of whipped that in there. Yeah. And then the word that keeps coming, and I feel it's not like Ethan Vasco's not trying as hard as he possibly can. The guy's a tough kid. Absolutely. Right? But sometimes what happens is, I think after that first pick it's like a golfer. Right? And there's great players who are golfers. Great golfers, right? And what's happened with them on 3-foot putts? They got the yips. Yeah. Right? And I felt as if some of those balls after that first interception, the balls that he was trying to drive downfield, they were throwing like he had the yips. Yeah. Right? Because it wasn't like those weren't there. The one was the one to Reese Smith on the sidelines, where I think it was to Reese Smith, turned down the left sidelines. That was just, he shouldn't have thrown that ball. Yeah. But the other ones, the wheel, I think it was Von Blue that was coming out of the back
on the far side, and then the one in overtime.
The one in overtime was the same thing. Yeah. It's like if you're Willie Korn and you're sitting there calling those plays, I'm going dude, those are touchdowns. If you have a quarterback that's stepping into those throws and throwing it like he threw the seam.
But that's the key. They're touchdowns with a guy that's confident.
Correct.
And at that stage of the game, that was gone.
It's a little bit of okay, so you're in Willie's shoes and you're going, okay, I feel as if this play gives, especially in the overtime play, I feel like let's hit him right now. Yeah. Do you not call the play because your quarterback's got the yips a little bit? Are you thinking that way? Or you're like, you know what, Ethan? You're on the headphones with him. Step in and make the throw. You got to do it. Or do you say, hey, give him a slant, give him a screen pass.
See, and that's
let him get to the free throw line and make a couple free throws.
And that's what first. Luke McCowan was on the broadcast, the analyst, and he brought that up a couple of times. Yeah. Where he's like, man, as a play caller, you just want to let him see it go through the net.
Right. Yes.
And he mentioned on one of the incompletions there late where he was like, I mean, he had the out route, but he's like, when you're in a struggle like this, you start seeing things that aren't really there, and you don't trust yourself.
Right.
And so, like, can you find ways to give him something easy? Or if not, like, then it's, but to your point, you always talk about as a coach, you also kind of have to have your finger on the pulse of the situation.
Yeah.
It's not in a vacuum. You're right. Would this play work? Just draw it up.
Yeah.
Yes. But we're not in a vacuum here. Like, we've seen the last 6 pass attempts. We know probably the confidence level of Vasco. And then we found out after the fact from Jamie Chadwell, well, they found out he was hurt before the overtime. His shoulder was hurt. And so they knew that as well and put him back out there. So all those things factor in. It makes it tough. But back to your original point, it's not an effort thing. It's not a toughness thing or whatever, but it hasn't been a thing that has worked this season at quarterback.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him in a way because you know what, when you start getting the yips a little bit, right? It's hard to get through that, right? And so he's in a. I'm not trying to make excuses for him. Like, he still threw 4 interceptions, and you're up. Think about this. I got to text you this. You're up. If you would have told me on Friday night, hey, Joe, just I got my crystal ball out here. We're going to be up 28-7 in the third. And at the end of the game, Evan Dickens is going to run for 228 yards on 30 carries. What's the final score of the ball game? I'd say, oh my goodness, that's great. We just won 35-14.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
No, we lost in overtime. Like that,
and then I tell you
the ESPN tracker thing, it says the win probability. We're at 28-7 in the third with Dickens gashing now.
Oh, by the way, Louisiana Tech's third string quarterback, they're having to go to Wildcat because they don't trust him to throw the football much, and add that to it, and then you're still up 20. Like, you could have, the shame of it is, you feel like up 28-7, you could have just turned and handed the ball off every time the rest of the game. Not scored another point, but you would have won. The only way Louisiana Tech comes back and wins this is if you turn it over, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, and I was a little and I'd go back and maybe watch it a little closer, but actually, no, I'm not going back.
Please don't.
I take that back. I'm not going back to watch it any closer. But when they win the Wildcat stuff, it was, and even when the quarterback was running the quarterback draws, this was not, we needed people in the box to stop the inside run. And the one touchdown the quarterback broke, like, they motioned the guy out. We motioned I think it was the backer out in man-to-man with him. Right, and now you got the light box that you want. You block them up and off to the races. There's nobody there. So I was a little like some of that kind of stuff. Like, we sort of walked ourselves into a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah. I mean, they were trying to throw. They're a 245-pound Wildcat guy trying to shot put it down the field. They were so desperate for offense there early in that game, and frustrating to say the least. All right, so bull streak. Over.
Wait, didn't they have preseason? I'm not trying to.
Yes. No, you're right.
I'm trying to put salt in the wound.
It was the dumb Conference USA because they don't want to do a poll. They don't want to do a poll because they don't want to get people's feelings hurt. So it was bowl confidence meter 100%.
Okay, so that's like, when they have those bacterial soaps out there. Right, and they said, hey, you wash with Dove bacterial soap. It always says, what does it say?
It's like 98.9.
99.99 effect. They got to leave the point out on there because it's like it's.
Nothing is 100%.
Nothing is 100%. And wow, did we just find that out?
I wonder what kind of odds you could have gotten on Liberty not to make a bowl game at the beginning. That would have been, anyway. So that's done. Liberty will have its first losing season since King Karcher's final year in 2005.
That was a
1-10 season.
That was a doozy.
I believe it was 10 straight losses as well to end the year. One other note, historically, first 4 interception game for quarterback since Buckshot Calvert.
Buckshot threw 4?
UMass in 2018. Oh, no. That was a game you might remember. 62-59 game against UMass on the road. AGG had over 200 yards receiving. Andy Isabella had over 300 yards receiving for UMass. I'm pretty sure we bumped up his draft stock a couple of rounds in that ball game. He ended up getting picked by the Cardinals, I think. and that was a 4-interception game, the last one we've had, 2018. So let's just go into one other thing on this. Maybe not the last thing. I don't know. Chadwell, after the game, Nick Pierce, who does a great job. If you watch, especially the
Nick
road,
does do a good
the
job.
road press conferences, if you will, it's just Nick. Like, there's nobody else there most of the time, or some of the time at least. So he's got to ask all the questions and try to ask pertinent questions, right? He's not just lobbing softballs. And so he asked Coach Chadwell, like, was Vasco all right? Like, was he healthy? And that's when, Chadwell said, well, we kind of found out before overtime his shoulder was hurt. But the trainer said he was good. He goes, we're probably going to go with Merdinger, but then the trainer said he's good enough, so we went back with him. Okay, so that's fine. First off, I don't know if I'm a head coach. I think sometimes you can give too much information. I don't know if I share that information publicly, right? Especially when you just threw a game, an interception there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I even share that. Just keep that to yourself. But it's 2nd and 7 in overtime, so second play, hurt shoulder, and you take a shot down the field.
See, I didn't know that. I didn't know this information.
Yeah, that's the interesting part there. Like, if he's hurt shoulder, don't know why you're throwing it down the field on second down when you've got a guy who's running for almost 8 yards a carry. And then if he's hurt, but you're like, okay, he can't throw, his shoulder's hurting, but we know what he's probably best at anyway. He's using his legs, running around. Let's use him in the ground game. Maybe that should have been kind of an option. But if you know he's not well and he's already thrown 3 picks, that's what gets me there. It's like, man, on second down, it wasn't like FIU, the end of that game, where it's like they scored first, it's 4th down, you got to just throw something to the end zone and hope and a prayer. That isn't the situation. It's the first possession of overtime. It's second down. Like, he's hurt. That's what kills me on that is, like, you're putting a guy who's already struggling physically and mentally at this point in a really tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, that's more than fair. And you have a guy that's carried the ball 30 times for 228 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, that, however you want to slice it, like, it ain't complicated.
Yeah.
Like, I'm riding that horse.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm riding that, whether that's inside, outside, screen him, whatever.
And
I'm getting the ball in his hands.
No one would blame you whatsoever if you went out just handing the ball off.
Yeah.
If that's how you go down,
and you
like,
get
no one's going to
get stopped. If you
right.
get stopped, you kick a field goal.
Right.
Field goal kicking's been great. You kick a field goal.
Right.
And then you play defense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
First play in overtime, though. First play in overtime.
Second play. They ran it for 3 yards and then.
No. I'm talking about Louisiana Tech.
Oh, yeah.
Louisiana Tech first play in overtime, like, just.
Yeah. That wasn't good.
Gone.
Yeah.
You know who I want to give a shout out to?
Who's that?
And this is how it's a game of inches. I want to give a shout out to Micah Pollard.
Yeah, he played well.
Because with less than a minute and a half to go in the game, LaTech was trying to go down and score. And he came from behind purposefully on a run of like 6-8 yards, whatever. And he literally, as you textbook teach it, in a crucial time, put a fist right on the football, punched the ball out, and the ball just happens.
Yep.
The bounce of the ball just happens to go right back, which rarely happens. Mm-hmm. It bounces on the ground, pops right up in the running back's hand. Like, dude, for that dude to be like, dude, I'm going to make a play when it counts, because that would have been, the ball would have been given to us in LaTech territory. And he knocks that ball out, and we recover that. We recover the ball like we're singing the praises of the defense, and they made a play and they could. So Micah Pollard, 14
tackles,
fantastic play.
14 tackles, his best game.
Best game, and dude, when I watch him, that's an athlete. That dude can play.
Yeah,
that guy's a good player.
Yeah,
14 tackles, punches the ball when it counts the most. You get that fumble, you're on their side of the field, you kick a field goal. You win what does Jauch always say? You win the game, and then what?
Back slaps and giggles.
Back kicks and giggles. Back slaps, kicks and giggles.
Yeah. Want to give a shout out to our boy Jay Billingsley. Had another field goal in this one. He now has 15 field goals on the year.
I mean, it's
which is the most Flames kicker has had since 2016.
How about a turnaround?
Alex Probert. Yeah.
How about a turnaround?
Had 15 that year. Outside of that, John Lunsford had 19 in 2014. But Billingsley, great job. Good to see him play well, and he's continued to be a good weapon for Liberty. One other thing that just bugged me.
Uh-oh.
And
things that get under Matt Warner's craw.
You don't want to. Yeah, we've done that bit. But yeah, we've done our whole craw bit before. But it's 3rd and 11, 1:20 left in the game, Liberty with the football, and you get a 12-men on the field penalty to back you up. That coming on the heels of last week, a 4th and 6 for the ball game, basically, at FIU, and you got a delay of game penalty. Like, that just can't happen.
Can't happen.
It just, and I know Chad will have to say, well, I was trying to call a timeout, but one guy got confused on the personnel, and I didn't get the timeout in time. That's the kind of that's just like disorganization.
The layers.
And what is it? I don't know if it's the Marines or whoever that always you hear talk about, like, when it's crunch time, when for them the bullets are literally flying.
Yeah.
You sink or rise to your level of training, right? That's what they always say. You end up, your level of training, that's where you settle.
Yeah.
And I feel like in these big moments we have seen, like, this team has either wilted or the decision-making has been so indecisive that it's cost them.
Yeah.
Like, you go back to the Missouri State, you didn't take a defensive timeout when you should have. That was the time. You go to FIU, you didn't take a timeout. You end up taking a delay of game that takes you out of an opportunity to go ahead late in that game. Now you get a 12-man on the field. Like, that's just sloppy, disorganization.
Yeah.
Like, that's not an execution thing.
Yeah.
As much as it is just like being in control of the situation.
And every situation that you mentioned there was in a critical time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
all in the game.
Like, that's all
in the last 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes of a game.
Yeah, that when you talk about layers, that's at the top of the layers. You know, so there's a great saying, and this relates back to organization too. It's not just personally and players personally, but in the times of most pressure, you will always return to your most deeply held habits. Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, you may want to do things. You may try to practice to do things a certain way, right? Because you know you're doing something wrong. But until you are in the pressure cooker, your brain and your body is going to go like, okay, what way do I feel most successful? You're always going to go to your most deeply held habits. And I think that's why you have to create winning habits and great habits that become who you are, not things that go the other way. And I think from what the point you're breaking, you're just taking that from an organizational standpoint, right? Like, dude, you got to be so in tune, so organized, so on top of it that you're ahead of the situation every time.
Yeah.
And there's also, like, it's like when you talk about mental toughness isn't just the ability to fight through pain.
Yeah.
Mental toughness is also the ability to avoid failure when failure presents itself.
Boy, you're bringing some nuggets today.
Yeah, that's a nugget.
Wow.
That's a solid nugget.
You've been reading like a book on.
No, I just made that up.
Wow.
But yeah, so like you get in those situations like, okay, I'm staring failure in the face.
Right.
How can I be mentally tough, whether it's from a player standpoint, coaching standpoint, organizational standpoint, with all these layers. I'm really going back to your layers thing.
I know. You've
all these layers that are out there, to be mentally tough, part of that is to say, you know what, I see it, I identify it, and I'm going to not just like not do it. I'm going to. It's like taking a penalty after the play.
Yeah.
Right? Like, dude pushes you. Right? I'm really ticked off. My emotions in me are saying, I'm going to push you back, right? I'm going to put my hand in your face or whatever, right? But you're mentally tough to know that push back to the hand in the face is going to cause the team failure. I'm going to avoid it. That's mentally tough.
Yeah.
And how many times that we have seen throughout this season where, like, we haven't been very mentally tough in those situations.
No. So now you get final game, Kennesaw State, which it's basically a playoff game for them. Like, if they win, they're into the championship game. Although they just no, it was Jauch State. They got beat by FIU over the weekend. But
what's Kennesaw State's record right now?
Right now they are, I'll tell you, they are 6-1 in conference, 8-3 overall.
Dude, they stunk last year.
Yeah, they're one of the worst teams in all of FBS. May coaching change. They're doing a great job.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive.
So
it tells you, and
it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done. If they win, they're into the championship game. My question is, though, Joe, should Liberty do something different at quarterback in this final game? Do you say, you know what? We're out. There's nothing on the line for us anymore. We don't have anything in terms of the postseason to play for. Let's throw a Merdinger out there. Let's throw an Ethan Hauck. Heck, even, God forbid Bradford. I know fans would love to see him. Like, we've heard so much about him. But, like, at this point, do you go a different route? Do you say, let's just, you know what? Let's throw one or two of these guys out there. Let's see what they do.
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think especially if you're talking post-game, being able to mention out loud that his shoulder was banged up, and, like, you don't want to put that kid in a position where he could do something to damage his body significantly. Okay? Like, it's different when, you're playing for a conference championship and it's like, hey, let's go. But, yeah, in this situation, and then who do you know is going to be your quarterback next year? Right? So you don't know. Like, is it going to be one of those three? Is it going to be somebody that transfers in? Like, who's it going to be? So, yeah, I agree. I think
Vasco still has another season, so it could.
Vasco still has another season. So, yeah, so you've got that.
But yes, to your point.
You got that in the mix, right? So you got Vasco in the mix, and then you got, these quarterbacks on the roster, and then you potentially have somebody transfer. But, I think in the situation that we're in right now with nothing, the bowl game, everything else, I think you got to give somebody else a shot.
Here's the only reason I could see them not doing it. Mm-hmm. What if Merdinger or Hauck comes in and throws for 300 yards? And then you've got to sit there after the game and people are like,
yeah.
Where's this been? The other problem this day and age is, what if freshman Ethan Hauck comes in and he balls out?
Right.
And then you've got his phone blowing up with other programs being like, hey, buddy. Hey, what do you?
Speaking of that, like that's the other problem that you have here is that you have a running back like Evan Dickens, like you're gonna have to figure out a way to keep him.
Yeah.
Because he transferred from Georgia Tech, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he transferred from Georgia Tech, but it's not like, oh, we get one transfer, we're done. Like now, that guy's rushed for over 200 yards in 2 games this year.
Yeah. Correct. Over 1,000 for the season.
Over 1,000 for the season. So. There's going to come. That's what makes it so hard at this level. It's like people are going to come calling for your best players. Now, that being said, Liberty is in a position where, hopefully we should be able to keep them.
Yeah, but no, you're exactly right. You're at the stage now where you feel like you get a season like that and you don't win with it. Right. Like that may have been it. We may have just wasted, a great season out of one player. Because every year is a one-year deal. You know what I mean? It does. It does. It's hard to build, for sure. Like, it's impossible in a lot of ways if you're not able to keep a lot of those core people around. All right, so Liberty, Kennesaw State. It's on CBS, so you won't hear us calling that one. But yeah, Liberty playing.
What's the game time on that?
What is it?
Announce it yet?
3? Yeah, is it 3 or 3:30? Let's see. 3:30. 3:30 in the afternoon. So if you're interested. Come on out. I'd imagine good seats still available. All right, basketball. How about that?
That was a good little slide.
How about basketball?
That was a good little slide.
Well, no students here because they're all gone. So there's going to be.
I imagine good seats available.
I'd imagine. Basketball today. By the time this podcast comes out,
give me a hoops.
Yeah, they will probably be underway. So they're playing at the Terry's Chocolate ESPN Events Invitational.
Terry's Chocolate.
Have you ever had Terry's Chocolate? I don't know if I've ever even heard of Terry's Chocolate. We were always a Russell Stover's family growing up.
Stover's is good.
You always get you have the little map on the box. You flip
Life
it up and
is like a box
try to
of
figure out what's what. Apparently, Terry's Chocolate does like the chocolate-covered orange slices, maybe. It's a big thing for them, I guess.
You know what?
I don't know.
They're trying to. You do. That's why you do these things, because they're trying to promote their Terry's chocolates. You know what I really like?
What's that?
Those doves, the little doves.
You do like the doves. You mentioned that.
The milky doves.
Yeah, I know you do.
The little dove. You know what happens? You know what happens to me? If I have a little meal and
your eyes start
I tell my wife, you get a spicy meal.
Yeah.
Right. You get a little spice in you.
Yeah.
Still, you're like, Need a little something, a little sweet tooth. A
Okay.
little something to knock off
Sure,
the
I
spice.
get that.
Just a little something to knock off the
I'll
spice.
just go grab like a handful of peanut M&Ms is kind of my
Yeah,
after
that's
dinner
solid.
thing, you know.
That's
That's
solid.
solid.
Just pop in
But
your
I-
mouth while you're watching a
But
ball
I'm
game.
just a blue collar guy,
Yeah,
so I don't do the.
I'm a little bit more
stuff.
bougie.
Right?
than
Yeah,
you.
I don't. I
I'm
can't
a little
really
bit
do
more
that.
bougie than you.
Yeah.
I admit that.
Terry's chocolate, deliciously unsquare since 1932.
Oh, 32.
They've been around. It's
Job.
taken them a while to get in the basketball game.
Well,
apparently.
they're now. So
Yeah.
what's happening in the basketball game?
So Liberty
more
plays,
importantly, what's
yeah,
happening
right.
in the basketball game?
1:30 today against Vermont. If they win that, or depending on win or lose, they'll play.
Where's this at again?
Orlando.
Oh, that's a great trip for the boys.
Yeah.
They're going to love that.
Yeah. And then they'll play. So it's 3 games in 3 days. Tomorrow they'll play either Towson or Rhode Island. So all 3 of those programs very solid. So it'll be a good test for them as their Liberty.
What's the record right now?
4-0.
They've only played 4 games.
Yeah.
4-0, okay.
So first time they've left campus, so it'll be a good test, kind of away from home. So, we'll
They're
see.
playing. I bet they're playing at the Disney World thing.
It's
right?
one of the Disney gyms or whatever.
Yeah.
After this tournament, which again,
When do we get into the heat?
Yeah,
I want to know
hold
when we
on,
get into the
hold
heat.
on,
of
hold
I'm
on.
excited
Hold
about
on,
basketball
Joe.
this year.
Hold on, Joe.
We got a good squad.
We do. So after this, you come back, you get Coppin State at home. They're D1, but they're not all that great. Then you go at NC State, December 10th.
Oh, Richie.
So that'll be a really good test against Will
Please.
Wade. And
Please.
then you come back
Everything in my
for another
soul.
non-D1 against Midway. Then which is they're out of North Carolina, I think. Then you go on the road for your final non-conference game at Dayton, December 20th. So that's a good test as well. So some good games on this schedule. You had the 2 early.
I wonder what Dayton's like this year. They're historically pretty good.
Yeah, they have been good.
I drive through Dayton on the way to see my son's team play in Huntington, Indiana.
Yeah, maybe
So
you should
we
swing by.
Swing by Dayton, but yeah, that's
See what the Flyers are up to. They're 5-1.
They're 5-1.
Yeah, they're
they have
5-1.
historically had a pretty good
They beat
good ball
Marquette.
club. Whoa!
Their only loss is to Cincinnati by 12. So
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, that's gonna be a ball
They
game.
play Georgetown here in a few days as well, and BYU perhaps. So they're in an Orlando event right now also. So
I know we're way ahead of schedule here, and not till March.
Yeah.
But watch out for BYU.
yeah, they're gonna keep getting better. That kid,
They're
Bansa
going
kid
to keep getting better.
is good.
Watch out for BYU.
Yeah, they're good. He might be the number 1 overall pick this year. All right, one other note I want to get to: Allie Zealand, star.
She's a superstar.
She earned cross country All-American at the cross country national championships.
Too easy.
Finished 21st out of 262 runners. In this race, she set the program record in the 6K. So I want you to get this: 19 minutes, 6.8 seconds. It's the 3rd time she's set the record in the 6K this year. At the beginning of the season, this is a program record. The program record held by Callie Doan was 19 minutes, 50.6 seconds. It's now 19 minutes, 6.8 seconds. So she knocked like 40-some seconds off
44
of
seconds, yeah.
the program record this season. That's ridiculous. So, Allie Zealand.
It's all
stud.
them Zealands.
Those Zealands.
It's all them
They
stinking
get after
Zealands.
it.
Them Zealands.
Yeah.
It's just like genetics 101.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Like they all can roll.
Yeah. So yeah, she earns All-American status. I'm going to go out on a limb and say probably not her last All-American honor in her career, just a sophomore. So congrats to her. Awesome for her. All right, let's go to you go to a couple of mailbag questions. Do you?
Every time I make you smile, I turn around and beg you by mailbag.
Robert says, "Want to pass?"
I love that I don't know the words.
I know, and yeah,
that's
that's
like-
fine. Whatever the words are, no one else knows them
Yeah.
now either. They only know your little version. Robert says, "Want to pass along strength to you and Joe getting through today's
Strength.
show. How happy is Emily not to have to be there today?"
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes.
Oh, could you
3
imagine
of
if she
us.
was here?
Oh no, she wouldn't have lasted this season.
Emotional disaster.
It was probably best.
Postpartum.
Yeah, it was
something.
probably best that her
Her
birth of
timing was
child-
perfect.
It was perfect.
Her timing was perfect.
She
She can focus on Callie's sleep journey now. She doesn't have to.
yeah.
She doesn't have to worry about this stuff. She doesn't be
Yeah.
involved. She's 100% focused on Callie's
And you
sleep
have
journey.
to be.
You have to
And
be.
you have to be.
Because
You
I don't
can't
know
be
how a
1
baby
foot in,
doesn't sleep.
1 foot out on a sleep journey. You just can't.
You got to be all in on
All
the sleep
in.
journey.
So she's been striking the stone, in her own way.
She lays down with baby Callie and she says, strike the stone. Baby Callie, strike the stone.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, let's skip ahead.
Wait, Robert. What?
That's all. He just wanted us to know he's pulling for us.
Oh, he's just giving us some encouragement.
He's just trying to encourage.
You know what, Robert? You have the gift of encouragement, and we're thankful for that.
All right, let me weed through. Some of these are not so much questions as they are just
more
angry statements.
I want to hear them.
I'm trying to weed my way through this.
Just let them rip.
Just a lot. No, I don't think so.
No, let them fly.
No.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So use discernment.
Yeah. Yes. Listen. As I said last week at the end of last week's show, frustration's a good thing. You want a fan base that
people
cares.
care, right?
You don't want a fan base that doesn't care.
That was a good little.
So that's the main thing here. Chuck sent in some messages.
First of all, I love the name Chuck.
Yeah, that's
a solid All-American name. Who are your parents that name you Chuck? I have so much respect for that.
Yeah.
Guys, that's a man right there.
You feel like it's like
Chuck,
a linebacker.
Yeah, Chuck. Come on, Chuck. Let's go.
Yeah.
Come on, Chuck.
I don't know it.
I want to hang out with
Personally,
you, Chuck.
I don't know a Chuck. Do you?
I do. Oh, yeah.
I wish I did.
Yeah, the Chuck.
I need more Chucks in my life.
Well, the guy that I know, that's Chuck. He's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well,
he's like one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah. Who's your favorite Chuck?
Yeah. Chuck Schrader, you are the man.
Yeah. Well, I need to know more Chucks. He really enjoyed the solo show last week, so I appreciate that, Chuck. I did all I could there for you.
Yeah, you're fine.
He said he thinks we should start incorporating more highlights into our podcast. Here's something I would love to do.
You know what? There's room for improvement.
We have an off season to figure this out.
Yeah, then we're going to talk about our own layers.
Yeah.
The one we look ourselves in the mirror, Matt.
Right, because listen.
When we look ourselves in the mirror.
After Saturday, Joe and I, we usually, we take some time to sit down and we just rehash it all. We watch back every episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
We go through it with red ink.
Yeah.
We're just like, critiquing ourselves and like, is this working? Is this not? And then we kind of go from there. I would love if we could find a way to rig up like the clicker during the podcast. But so basically you have full control.
If I had the clicker?
You have full control.
Then we break it down.
And then we can just zip around to different points in the game.
Look at this. And we talk through it.
That would be next level stuff.
I mean, what are we waiting on?
We've got an off season to figure it out.
We've got an off season to figure it out.
Yeah.
That's going to be unbelievable.
Maybe this wasn't the year.
It's almost. It's like a little bit like Gruden. When Gruden, I can go Gruden.
You can do your Gruden's grinders.
Jet right, 26. Y flag.
X banana.
X banana Z cross.
Yeah.
On 2.
Yeah. Gruden is great.
You know what? I love those memes
when
it talks about like at the family Thanksgiving, don't talk about football or whatever, right? And then it's like me.
Yeah.
And then it does that Gruden clip. Yeah. It's
Gruden's,
so funny.
He is good.
He's great.
He is really good.
I wish Gruden would get a job. He wants one.
I know he does.
You know he wants one.
I know he does. Okay, here's another one. This is from Robert as well. You're going to like this.
New Robert.
So Joe, last week, why was he gone? Well, you were at the Grey Cup with your brothers and your dad in Winnipeg.
Yeah, story.
And Robert says, we've mentioned Ray Jauch a couple of times. Yeah. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
But Robert says, I know him as the first coach of the USFL Washington Federals.
Yes,
he said he would love to hear a story or two from Uncle Joe about that team. They went 4-14 with star player Craig James. He said the one story he's heard, and maybe you can verify this, is that the inaugural game was against George Allen in Chicago.
Correct, Chicago Blitz.
He said George Allen was like NASCAR. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah.
The story was, even in the USFL, George Allen sent spies to watch the Feds practice, and he knew all the plays. Chicago won that one 28-7. Do you know that story? Do you have any good stories about the USFL days and Ray Jauch?
Robert, directly from my dad.
Yeah?
Where's the camera? That's a true story.
Is that right?
That's a true story.
So he was Belichick before Belichick.
Belichick before Belichick.
Yeah.
Because George Allen was the the head coach of the Washington Redskins. Right? And so he left, and he was interested. So he had all the connections back in D.C., and this was the Washington Federals.
Okay.
And so, they spied on him, stole the plays, had a great. The stories of the Washington Federals, I could spend all day on those. There's some classics.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, though, they were playing, might have been the Philadelphia Stars. Jim Mora was the head coach of Philadelphia Stars. They had Calvin Bryan.
Playoffs?
Running back.
Yeah, that's
so what a great call. I can't believe I just remember this name. Speaking of great Chucks.
Yeah.
I believe Chuck Facina was their quarterback.
Okay.
What a call.
What a
if
name.
I'm right on that, what a call.
Yeah.
And so they ended up winning the Federals' last game of the season. They hadn't had a good season. It was, and they were going out the field, and they were playing Kool in the Gang Celebration, right? One of the players and all the fans, like where they were running into it's the old RFK Stadium. It was unbelievable, like nostalgia everywhere. So all the players are going into the tunnel. All the fans, like there weren't a lot of fans there, but the ones that were they're like all of a sudden they're playing Celebrate Kool in the Gang. One of the players, and I was in the 8th grade. I'll never forget this. One of the players takes his helmet. I would love to know where this helmet's at. Takes his helmet and he throws it up into the stands, right? And you see these two guys go to catch the helmet. They're like, they grab the helmet. They both have the helmet, and like everybody sort of steps back. And I'm in the 8th grade. I'm standing by. I watched one of the greatest fist fights I've ever seen in my life for that helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, and they ended up. Both of them ended up in a bloody mess, just grasping onto the helmet. And just they were fat and they were tired and they were fighting, but neither one of them wanted to let go of that helmet. Yeah. And I'm like, I cannot believe what I'm watching right now. It was incredible. That's one story.
Wow. Yeah, I wonder where.
But I have a better. Can I tell one more story?
One more.
This is a Grey Cup story. You should get back into a Grey Cup
Oh
story.
yeah, tell a Grey Cup story. Set the scene.
Set the scene. So we go to the Grey Cup in Winnipeg. My dad's now 88 years old.
Yeah.
And like this is a last hurrah. And he was the head coach at Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and is a legend there. We went out wherever we went out to. My dad was taking pictures, restaurants, wherever we went to. It was unbelievable. It was so great, and it was so great for him that people coming up to. I bet he took 200 pictures while we were out for this great. We were there for 3 or 4 days, and so anyways, we go out to this restaurant and we had dinner. The owner of the Winnipeg Jets NHL team came out to be with my dad and do everything. So we had dinner with him. It was really cool. Right? He's a good friend of my brother's. And so we finished dinner. Jimmy, my brother Jimmy, who is works for Winnipeg. We go to this other restaurant, and we saw an old buddy of ours that we played with in the CFL. His name is Lee Knight, otherwise known as the Rooster. Right?
Okay.
The Rooster, a great nickname, right?
Yeah, that is.
So he was the Rooster. So when we were playing with the Rooster, whenever we walk in the locker room, we would be like, right? We throw a little bark out, right? And then when Rooster would make a play during practice, a good play, where we go, right? And they're, we should do that. Yeah. So anyways, we're hanging out with the Rooster. It was great. We leave the Rooster and we're walking, and me and Jimmy are walking together, and we're going, wherever. And Jimmy's like, oh, I forgot my phone. I'm like, oh, jeez, Jimmy, like, come on, just tighten it up. Yeah. So like, all right, let's retrace your steps. Go back to the first restaurant. Talk to people there. No, we don't have your phone. I said, well, where were we next? He said, well, we were with the Rooster. I said, so I pick up my phone, and I'm like, let me call your phone. So I called Jimmy's phone, and the Rooster answers, right? And he's like, I got Jimmy's phone, right? I'm like, Rooster, where are you at? He said, well, I've left. I'm on the corner of like Portage and we're in downtown Winnipeg, right? It's a big city, right? I'm on the corner of Portage and St. Charles. I'm like, I don't know where that is. So Jimmy and I walk outside. We see these guys standing across. He's like, hey, do you know? I know we're on Portage, right? I said, but where's St. Charles at, right? And they're like, it's way down that way. So this is 100% true. So in the age of GPS and location services and all that stuff, no. You know what you do when you know that situation? You throw out a Rooster call. So I'm standing on the street corner. There's all these people walking. It's it's Saturday night to see if the Grey Cup's going. So there's people everywhere, right? So they're all walking, and I look straight down the street, and I go, beep, beep.
That's good.
And then there's silence, and then all of a sudden I hear this.
No way.
And so, that's the Rooster. That's the Rooster. And so Rooster called each other all the way down. It's probably a good 400 yards. All the way down to the corner of Portage and St. Charles till we were looking directly across. And then we gave one last Rooster call to each other. And we walked across. Jimmy handed his phone. And then we hung up with the Rooster for a couple more hours.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Is that a great one?
That is a good story. That's a good story. No, I'm glad you guys had a good time.
And then the Grey Cup was awesome.
Yeah, was it?
Oh my goodness! It couldn't have been any better. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great having and I actually played for both teams. Montreal was playing Saskatchewan, so I played originally on Saskatchewan, and then played Montreal my last season. So yeah, it was great. It was great. It was a good game. Came down to Hail Mary at the end, and in Winnipeg, packed house. And my dad was there, and it was the best.
That's awesome.
It was the best.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys got to do that. All right, quick. Let's roll through a couple of things here to wrap it up. Flames Fantasy League.
Oh, that 220 yards, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for you, Matt Warner.
Let's go through it quick.
It's the Herschel Walker trade. They'll call it the 2025. They'll call it the Herschel Walker trade for years. Remember when Emily
cut
Evan Dickens. Emily, it's not even a trade. She cut him. The worst cut in fantasy football history. Will they say that?
Yeah, I will.
That's the worst cut in fantasy football history.
Should we be concerned that a small child is in her care, given the decision-making we have seen in Flames Fantasy
that's
this year from her?
That's a legitimate concern.
I might need to call Jason just to be like,
I think Jason needs to be like, I'm sure he's already a hands-on dad, but he might want to step it up a little bit. What unbelievable, she cut him.
I mean, she could have,
How many points you have?
I have 375.6. You have 296.7. Emily has 141.4. Our guy who's just doing the graphics this week, Dom, he actually sent me a message and he said, I just want to double check this score. It's like, was Emily's score, is that right?
How much does she have?
141. He's like, was that right? Did you type in a wrong number? He's like, there's no way it could be that low.
Can I offer up something to you?
Yeah.
I think this is fair.
What's that?
You know how you are. I'll give you. You give me Evan Dickens for the last game, and I'll give you $50. That's a cash core trade. How many points you up?
I mean,
how many points you
know
up?
my weakness.
How many points are you up? You're up 85 points?
What'd you say? 80 points.
You're up 80 points. Like, you lose Evan Dickens. I get him for the game. You don't get to add anybody.
Yeah.
You don't get to add anybody. You lose. I mean, you got to give it like that. Mathematically, I don't think it's even. I'm not taking that deal. I don't think so. I'm not even.
I would have taken you up on it. By the way,
I'm not taking that deal. I don't want to give you $50.
If Emily had just kept Evan Dickens, not doing anything else,
what would she be at?
She'd be at 275.
Yeah, and you'd be out of it.
And I'd be out of it.
You'd be out. So she'd be right there.
Yeah.
Way to go, Emily.
Yeah, she blew it. So that's pretty much wrapped up. Lastly,
there's no other good mailbag questions?
No, that was about it.
Okay, it was a ranting.
Lastly, our buddy Jeff Snell, the Snell scoring system, bold predictions. His first line of his email is, how can I get out of my contract? Did I sign anything that says I have to keep watching these games just to do the score predictions? Yeah, no, it's been tough. But
you know what, Snell? Sometimes you got to fight through the tough times.
Got to fight through it. So Emily won this week. She had 30-24. Louisiana Tech was her final. So she was very close. I got second place. Joe has been eliminated. But it is in play. Final week.
Is it really?
I have 9.5 points. Emily has 8. If she wins and I get last this week, she would win it. If not, I'm going to hold on to this trophy for a third straight year.
3 years in a row?
It would be 3 years in a row.
It's getting close to calling you a dynasty.
So I know, it really is. So we'll see how this goes. Emily's representative has reached out. She is going to, let me just make sure I get this right. Emily's final prediction of the year.
We're doing it.
34-17 Kennesaw.
She when she burns a boat, she burns them.
So that's the way she's going. Joe, what do you got?
Joe,
do you want me to go?
You go, buddy.
Emily actually kind of took my score, so I'm going to go 34-13 Kennesaw. I would love to say that, you know what, we're going to play spoiler here and come out. I just haven't seen it.
Does Kennesaw have to win this game to go to the conference championship?
I don't know.
That's a big factor in this. Do they have to?
Well, if they win, they are in.
Give the folks Conference USA standings.
If they win, it's Western Kentucky, Kennesaw, Jauch State, all with one loss.
Okay, so they all have one loss. Who has 2 losses?
Missouri State, but they're not eligible.
Okay, Missouri.
So they're the only
Missouri
2-loss team.
They get beat?
They did.
I didn't know that.
To, I think it was Kennesaw, right? Yeah, they lost by a touchdown, 41-34 at Kennesaw. So that was a good game. So
okay, so the bottom line is, yes, Kennesaw does need to win because
they're in.
Yeah, because if they lose and Jauch State and Western Kentucky win, then those two teams.
Well, those two teams play each other. Jauch State and Western Kentucky play each other. That's the key. So Kennesaw has lost to Jauch State. That's their only conference loss. they have not played Western.
Then they have to win.
They
have to win because if Jauch State loses and they're both 8-2.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Then I guess if Western Kentucky lost.
Yes, because they lose the head-to-head.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah. So
if Western Kentucky lose, then it's a different story.
So they're a highly motivated squad.
Yes. Yeah, that's my whole point. Is is it from a coaching standpoint, you have to go through those scenarios. If you know you're in, you're like, dude, I have a guy banged up. I'm setting them.
Yeah. No,
so if they got to win, all right, that factors into my decision making. I still will say this. It's the last game for a lot of Liberty players, seniors, guys who've busted their humps for many years, and the seniors go out in style, on a good note, with the win. Liberty 24, Kennesaw State 21.
24-21 Liberty. All right, I think it's like 20.
Chain it up. Let's pray.
Like 23 seniors, I think. Some of the bigger names, obviously, C.J. Bazell, Joe Carter, Bryce Dixon, Brylan Green.
Bryce Dixon's got we don't need an update on his health.
I don't know, but yeah, he was down on the field. Brylan Green's last game, Damon Harmon's last game.
These are some big names.
On the defensive side, Corey Jones,
another big name,
Mo Williams, so both corners. On the defensive side, there's a lot that's graduating, much less anything else. So that's a lot of guys on the defensive side that are going to be celebrated for this last game, and you hope they can end it well. Last thing, Joe, before we go, it is Thanksgiving this week.
Yes.
Give me your most overrated, most underrated item on the Thanksgiving table. What would it be?
Most overrated?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof, that's tough.
Or just give me your
or something just take it away.
Yeah, just give me.
Take it away.
What's the best thing on the table?
What is your
go-to plate, Thanksgiving plate? What do you do?
I'm going to give you the best thing on the table, and then I'm going to give you just take it away.
Okay.
Right? The best thing for me, and this is a little bit like, I love the Dina Jauch sweet potato casserole.
Now, is that marshmallows on top?
With the marshmallows on top.
See, I love the pecan brown sugar kind of on top of sweet potato casserole.
Yeah, I love that too. That's great.
Okay.
And then I love the green bean casserole.
Yes.
You put the little
the crunchy onions
stuff,
on top.
Is it the crunchy onions? Yeah, that's what you put on top. That's great. So but I'm a huge, if Joe Jauch, he's other people. He's a meat potatoes guy.
Right.
I'm a potatoes, and I would. This is pretty funny. When we were growing up, I would ridiculously overload my plate with gravy.
Well, you have to.
Too much gravy, right? And so when I would get in line, I just thought of this. It's a true story. I'd get in line at the Jauch household, which was a free-for-all, 4 boys. And we'd have the big plate, and I used to start loading up the gravy. My brothers were like, will you stop, right? So I said, nobody stops the gravy king. That's what I call myself. So from that, Jimmy's going to love this. Yeah. From that moment forward, Jimmy started calling me the gravy queen.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the gravy queen.
Good,
So, here comes the gravy queen.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then, but my worst ever, all time, what was it called again? My mother-in-law, who's an incredible cook, we had her play Nana. She's making the soup for the JPL championship, which is unbelievable. That's going down tonight.
Okay.
That's a big matchup. Yeah. And Nana one time wanted to try something new, and she made a spicy chutney. I can't remember, was that Cajun chutney, spicy chutney? And it was awful, right? Gosh. So one of the traditions at the Jauch household is to fix the dog a plate.
Yeah.
And so we fixed the dog a plate, and we set it down for the dog, and we put the spicy chutney. The dog ate everything around and didn't touch the spicy chutney. So Nana still takes a hard time with that. Nana's she's if she made 1,000 dishes, she's 999 out of 1,000.
It's always the one.
Then she takes heat for the one thing, but we appreciate it.
I'll say this, turkey gets a bad rap.
It's a bad rap?
Yes. I feel like now it's more popular for people to say, oh, I don't eat turkey.
What are you talking about?
Turkey is so good.
Turkey's everything that's right.
And then not only is it great
about Thanksgiving
with your mashed potatoes and gravy and the gravy on it, it's great for a turkey sandwich the next day. How good is that?
Oh,
that might be my favorite part of Thanksgiving.
Joe Jauch doesn't pack on his like he'll pack on a couple pounds.
I know that.
Sure,
yeah,
it
we're all
happens.
aware. Yeah.
Sure, it happens.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen, don't try to play Arnold Schwarzenegger with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
So
we know this.
Jauch will pack on a couple pounds at Thanksgiving, right? It happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
One or two.
But what really gets Jauch is the leftovers.
Yeah.
It's the 2 and 3 days afterwards. It's a turkey sandwich. Like, oh, look at those mashed potatoes. Come here, my little friend. Why don't you go in the microwave?
Yeah.
Right? And then next thing you know, I've just fixed myself 4 more Thanksgiving dinners.
Yeah, that's
And
the
then
problem.
you get on the scale and you're like, God.
Like, how does this happen?
I just haven't thought I was under control. And you throw the sweet tooth on top of it with the pecan pie. It's a recipe for disaster.
One last thing I'll say, and our old friend Rhett McGibbon and I
Rhett
had
McGibbon
this.
called me while we were on
Is that
this,
right?
by the way.
Oh, I think I know why.
Okay.
Stuffing. Don't overthink it. The stovetop people have figured it out.
They got to figure it out.
The science, they perfected it.
Let them be.
Don't try to do some,
Let 'em be.
oh, Julia Child's fancy,
No.
whatever. No.
Leave it
It's in the
alone.
box.
in
It's
the
perfect.
box. It's
Just
perfect.
let it work. It works
Let
perfectly.
it do its thing.
Right. And it's great. More
it
gravy on that,
alone.
too.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm not a big stuffing guy, but come Thanksgiving, that
tell you what,
stovetop stuffing,
so
I'm with you on that. Just leave it alone.
good.
Let
You don't
it,
need
let
to
it
overthink
rest.
it. You don't need to overthink it. Yeah.
I love it. I
So
love it.
the stuffing is the turn and hand to Evan Dickens. Don't overthink
We could have
it.
used a little overtime stuffing.
We
could have used a little OT
it
stuffing.
works. Just go with what works. All right, we should probably get out of here. He's Joe. I'm Matt. Thank you so much for watching this week. We'll be back next week. People continue to ask, when is Emily coming back? We still don't know. At this point,
When the sleep journey is complete, and that may never happen.
that may never happen. We're all on a sleep journey. Thanks for tuning in.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you back here next Monday.